Meanwhile, there is optimism that geohazard maps released by the DENR to local government units will help save lives of people in identified danger zones. Freddie Abando reports.
Geohazard maps provided by the DENR to the National Disaster Risk Reduction Management Council has enabled local government units to plan and prepare for the impact of a typhoon that may hit the country. The Department of Science and Technology, through Pag-asa's Doppler radar system, will measure the amount of rainfall that Typhoon Glenda will dump, the trajectory and speed of the winds included, all of the areas that will experience Glenda's force and fury, its impact from flooding to landslides and storm surges have been identified. DENR Secretary Ramon Paez stressed that the geohazard maps are a big boost for the NDRRMC, the Department of Social Welfare and Development, Department of Health and local government units to pre-position supplies for relief operations. It identifies danger areas for the immediate evacuation to safer grounds.
We are very much ahead now. This is the product of the strategic prepositioning of the Doppler radar by the UST. Because now, for example, now we have Typhoon Glenda coming. Few days before the landfall, or even sometimes 5 days, ito ngayon, I think mga 3 days, they can already tell us, using the data from the Doppler radar, the typhoon path, or we call it the SWAT, and the volume of water that the clouds carry. So if with those two information, you now overlay it over the hazard map, geohazard map, you will see the barangays, the towns that will be affected, which will receive rain, more rain, and that may experience landslide or flooding. So with those information, for example, today, we have just submitted to the NDRRMC the barangays that will be affected by Typhoon Glenda. So the NDRRMC will now know where to preposition their response. In the same manner, the SWD can also preposition their goods.
The DENR's geohazard mapping program has covered the entire country, since geohazards pose danger to lives, properties, infrastructures, and communities. It is updated regularly to ensure local government units are better equipped in planning and preparing for emergencies caused by flooding and landslides.
If you are a barangay captain, you have that map of 1:10,000, you can easily see the areas which will possibly be affected by landslide because the gradient is very high, the slope is very high, matarik.
Even with storm surges, sir.
And then, you also see, if you are standing in the middle of that 1:10,000 map, you will also see kung aling lugar ang low-lying and therefore plausible flooding. So you can easily see that. And then you now put other data like history, binabaha ba yun every year or every 10 years. And then you can now determine kung aling lugar doon ang dapat mong ilikas kagad because this will be the first natatama ng flooding because of the gradient.
For the People's Television Network, this is Freddie Abando reporting.